I standing in your way?
No, no, not at all. The regional semi-final kicking off, having already kicked off. Marty's versus Gradient. I think Gradient up 2-0 at the moment. Marty's not clinical on offense. Tom giving a very bloody arc to Damien, who can't hold on to that. Bit of a shocking forehand throw there. I don't think that was the intended shape. Morning, Mark. 2-0, yeah. Marty's not very clinical on offense. I think Brayton throwing discs away, being a turnover machine, more than usual. So today I saw a couple of hucks going out the field, overcooked passes. Hey, Pietro.
I'm trying to.
And,
Bigger pitch. Wait, where's the? Oh. I'm like, why would Nice, Gradient.
Mike with the score. Gradient up 3-0 now. Marty's looking a bit disheveled.
Time out, cool, Gradient.
Timeout now called by Gradient. Well, probably Marty's trying to stem the bleeding.
Coach quick.
Having,
It's just like a. Yeah, it's just like a stack. Okay, this isn't the odd stack. Yeah. See, really quickly. We only have 20 seconds. This is the front of the stack. Oh, good.
let's listen in to
We need two at the front of the stack, yeah? And if this guy is following his reset handler up, whichever way they're going, if you follow, you have to call one of these guys back. Yeah. Call them back. This guy now has to fill in here. If you follow him out here, you should be calling someone else out here to help you if he's busting deep. There's one at the back of the stack, there's someone here. This person has to cover here. Because they're getting either two options on this side where they're flooding and killing our coach, or alternatively, we're ending up with no one on the reset. Yeah. And they're giving easy rounds.
Can I ask that you make sure that front of stack is calling the switch, because if I'm facing my mark, I couldn't see where someone could pick up from me and how I could
That's
get
why.
that.
So if you set up this way, it's like rather than setting up facing the mark at the yard, I'm gonna set up here. And so if the disc is over here, I'm setting up facing upfield, so I see front of stack.
Okay.
And so I'm really trying to. We do not want this around coming off.
Okay.
And so this, your priority is around. This person should be able to step in and kill that. 20 seconds. Let's go. 3-3. Still sleeping. 3-3. 1-8. Gradient. That's why we need the count. Let's go.
let's see if Marty's can turn this 3-0 deficit into something else. Looking a bit stagnant in Luca's absence. Luca having broken both his tibia and fibia yesterday against Gradient. Nick being in the deep space, very intimidating. I wasn't there to see it myself, but harrowing scenes, harrowing scenes. Never good to see a third knee develop where there should only be straight legs. Nick Lewis out of the pool for Gradient. Disc floating eye. Gabe fielding for Marty's. And Gabe to Cam. Cam looking at the bird stack, looking at his options. Jonty going open side. Under. Gabe slashing across. Yaneman coming under. Cam gets the disc again. Now this is Nate in the deep space with an pretty casual sky there over Nick and DC into double coverage. I think I'm back Jonty and Nate. Just go deep and score on them. It should work. I don't think Gradient really has an answer for Jonty or Nate deep. Pace-wise, I think they've got them beat. And jumping ability-wise, should be fine as well. Now the question is, does Marty's have the throwers to get that disc to the intended receiver without giving the defense a play on the disc or a realistic play on the disc as well? The game would have been morning cam. Game would have been a bit closer if the throws were a bit more on point early in the day. So the score is currently 3-1. Not much in it at the moment. 2 breaks of difference. Hey, DC. Marty's now looking to pull to Gradient. Hey, Nick. And it's a pull that makes it to the front of the end zone. Damian Fields looks off the first swing. Undercut coming, slashing across. Tom gets the disc now. Just up and saying all the right people. Grenelli now on the disc, back to Tom. Tom looking to perhaps throw deep. Holsters. Still playing from the end zone. Undercut coming from Paul Vikers on the open side of the field. Caleb with enough defensive pressure. Gets called off the disc. Gabe now positions to the disc. Brayton makes first cut into coverage. Will there be a reset? Reset goes off to Nathan. Nathan puts it wide to Gabe, but too wide. And a turnover. Damien with disc now. Mike has a disc. Oh, Mike goes for a forehand and splits the wickets between Fabian and Tom. Now Gabe gets to pick up the disc again. Marty's on offense. This game has deteriorated into a bit of a turn fest. Nate going hard up line. Goes back around, sees Brayton, swings to Brayton, sees Jonty with a very athletic grab, digs that disc out of the turf. Nate into that cheeky up the line space. Definitely something Marty's practiced. Oh, and a nice cross-field throw to Caleb. Caleb now with the disc, straight to Jonty. Jonty holstering. As the defense collapses. Cuts coming across, and a big hammer to Nate. Outstretched, doesn't get it. The third turn of the point. Seems like Nate seemed to have win himself with that bid for the disc. And Cam swapping on for Nate. Marty's not being as clinical as one would hope with the disc 2 meters out from the end zone. Bit of a super dumb swing action would have probably netted them another score, but they went for the over the top hammer. Not sure yet how to handle the poachy swappy defense Gradient's putting out on their vert stack. So there we go. Cam assumes the position. Cam, man of the people. Very spirited player. Far beyond picking up for Gradient. James making an undercut. Ooh, cheeky inside break there. Tom Gibb goes to Mike. Back to Tom. Holsters. Goes for the swing. Gets the disc again. Dribbling in the middle of the field. Ooh, Caleb. With the... called clean. Caleb getting to that disc for the intended receiver. That's some good defense. Maybe the camera has a better angle. Gabe getting the reset there from Cam. Another cheeky eye release. And then the arc to Jonty, who gets out positioned by Tom there in the end zone. The defense from Gradient quite a bit better. Fabio now with the disc. Will he arc the disc to Tom? Oh, Jonty a bit gassed.
Look for a 1-2. You got time. Great fight, Martis. That was a hard point.
Hey, great. Nice defense. Nice defense.
Marty's not doing themselves any favors, trying to force that disc into the end zone. Cutting patterns maybe not clean enough. Everyone kind of cutting at the same time. Only two handlers back. Not sure if that is because it's not the usual set of handlers or Luca's missing. But Gradient seems to be
Nice catch, Tom.
running away with the game, and it's just the arcs connecting. Arcs being put into space in front of players. Not too far, not too hard. Gradient now about to pull to Marty's again. Tom with the disc in hand. And let's see, Gradient mostly on side. Cones are a bit skew. Disc landing and the break called by Peter. Peter now jogging to the center of the field. Bytes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Steps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. The brick mark, of course, I believe 18 meters.
Dave, watch up.
Quarter up the field. Marty's still playing isolated handler set, looking for a bit of a dominator action. Peter grabbing that disc out of the sky, resetting to Cam, resetting to Brayton, isolating.
Go Dave. Hold on. Nick, back. Watch back.
And Dominator not working out there. One of the defense players poached off, creating a 4-3 situation. And Marty's not recognizing it, trying to move the disc up. Nick with the score up the line after the Marty's Dominator movement did not pay any dividends. Coach Asanda with some words of encouragement. Michael, one leg hopping, bringing the coaches a whiteboard. So Marty's currently huddling up next to the spot in the field that claimed 2 collarbones at the 2019 regionals. One of Kevin Runt, the other one of Kenny Smith. They're both went for exactly the same play. I think they both broke their collarbones basically at the same spot, 1 hour apart. What's it with Western Cape Regionals where someone breaks a bone every now and then? So at the current pace of injury, we could expect the next one at 2031. 2031 regionals better have 2 ambulances on call at any given time with emergency personnel standing by, because if history is, or if people are to repeat history, it stands to be a very injury-filled regionals. Johan on the far side. I wonder if Johan will. Johan! Well, Ella throw it to me. Let's see. No. Can I get Johan to throw me a disc? Come on. Oh, DMCA music playing. Goeiemôre. Het jy gaan goed met my? Het jy enige woorde op die huidige spel wat jy met die mense wil deel?
Well, which game are we filming? Who is the camera?
Marty's
game.
under the tree over there.
Under the tree over there.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the first real adversities Marty's are having to navigate, having lost a star player in Luca. And I think no one can expect them to magically just pick up where they left off before the injury. So I think there's a little bit of growing pains in the first half of the game. Unfortunately, there are quite a bit of stakes involved in this game. If they lose it, they will be seeded bottom out of the Western region going into nationals. That's a reality. There's no two ways around it.
Oh no.
Oh no. But at the same time, like, look, it's part of how sports are. But yeah, no, look, there's been some good spirit, and I think it lays a great foundation to see an exhilarating game if Marty's do pull this one off now from this position. Because I think there's been already 2 timeouts, and it's scoreline. I don't think Gradient's at 5 yet. So
yeah, the game has been pretty messy, I would call it, with some some completely unforced errors or just overthrows, miscommunication, as the handler said, easy swings that are a bit just overcooked. The handlers not necessarily being as settled in as you would expect them to be at a regional tournament. But Luca leaves that's meow from Caleb.
we might have to check the decibel levels on that and edit it.
Nah, we could. We'll just we'll just have a very loud meow in. Cam now with the initiation cut. Marty's really enjoy that little cheeky high release backhand into space. Peter on the far side.
Okay, Jonty needs to clear a bit.
Cam gets the reset. Swing gets looked off.
I've been very impressed with the kind of, I don't want to call it the new crop, but the gents who've come through the system over the past year and their cutting ability in the vert.
Jonty
been very impressed
into
with
the
it.
middle. Back to Jonty.
But naturally, you always see your Is that in? It's in.
That's it.
Fantastic. I think
Michael
that
with
takes
the
us to
score.
5-2.
Lekker.
At the start. Maybe the timeout helped.
Yeah,
We
look,
shall have to see.
so Martis is still playing the vert stack, and Gradient has realized you can probably well in the previous point with the Dominator, they realized, wait a second, no one is cutting from the stack. We'll just move one of our stack defenders and play 4-on-3 in the handler set, and then that's how they forced a turn. Peter not expecting that defender to be there that close because there were already 3 other defenders on field or on his teammates. He thought he was open. And now they started using front of stack, splitting the 2 front of stack defenders. Jonty just came straight through for that pass through the middle, which then opened up all the other players. So Marty's at the previous competitive tour played vert stack into Gradient's
Dominator,
monster
yeah,
defense, which is supposedly there to hard counter it. So at some stage, other teams should figure out, wait a second, this is what Marty's is doing. And at that stage, they need to change up or just do it better.
Yeah,
than
and
they
then
think
Marty's
it
are
would
going to
be
have to
more
adjust.
clinical.
But I think Marty's right now, like you previously mentioned, a whole lot of unforced errors. And I think that's being in their heads quite a bit. I think
Tom
they-
doesn't have that throw. Ulsters.
Nick gets it. Nick back to Tom. Tom to Paul. Paul's struggling with a bit of a hammy niggle. You could
Ooh.
see he's been switching when we've had our players break off him. He's called
Oh,
for Gabriel,
Gabe.
fantastic.
Just with casual follow run through D there.
That's good.
Brayton.
And now they
Gabe
just need
saying,
to
no,
keep their
Brayton,
heads.
don't throw that
Keep
disc
their
away.
heads. Yes, Gabriel. There we go.
On a turn, am I allowed to just bolt across the field?
No.
Brayton with a hammer.
That's a bit
And that
weird.
hammer
I
is
would
clean
not-
too. Oh, it's not clean. I shouldn't have jinxed it.
Nate not being able to hold on to that hammer.
I think we need to get Luke on a video call at halftime and tell the guys, look, get out your heads.
Peter indicating that is a no-fly zone. Yes, young man.
Good for him. Good for him. Yeah. Good momentum in Marty's direction at this point so far. Good for the spirit, good for the hopes. Can they convert? That's the only question now. Peter cuts.
Completely
gets out.
flooded. Oh, yeah, just give that to Brayton.
okay. And
No,
again,
of all
questionable
the looks,
decision
you
making.
should have gone for Peter.
Come on, Yaneman. Yaneman, all these years for what?
Just being there. Yeah, so Brayton, Peter was completely looked open. If they poach 3 players right in front of you, don't go for the under, you go for the around over.
Yeah.
That's how you beat the poach. And
He was confident with the hammer to Nathan. So
No. So where Brayton was, that was just like the easy score on the forehand over the poach.
I see.
But he threw
Into the back
straight
of the
through
end zone.
3 players, looking for a player coming under, while Peter was wide open at the back of the end zone. The end zone's 18 meters deep, deceptively a lot of space. If people are poaching 3 meters in front of you, that still gives a good
Yeah.
12 meters. Just get the score off. Marty's now with the disc again. Handler's playing 4-on-3 defense. Peter gets the disc.
Gets
Now
it.
surely he uncorks.
Ooh, Nathan.
Nate gets
Nathan
this.
got it. Ooh,
Overcooks
unlucky
it to
Renier.
Renier. Renier getting caught a bit flat-footed there, not reading the disc, not anticipating that it's coming.
Marty's is making themselves work unnecessarily.
Yeah, playing 4-on-3 in the handler set. Oh, Gabe with
Gabriel.
another.
Ooh. Foul call.
surely
What
not.
shall he be doing? Is he going to
Surely
contest
not.
it?
No, okay, well,
Let's give
I-
them a moment to gather their
from-
emotions
I
and their
think-
thoughts.
if I had to make a call there, that's the second time that's happened to Damien. Gabe's had his number. I think that was just a clean run through due from my perspective, but I could be completely biased. This is, of course, the least enjoyed thing about Ultimate. Started making a call and the game just stopping dead. Spectators are like, what is happening? And now this goes back
Contested
to
foul.
throw.
This goes back to throw.
That is the resolution. No discussion. Foul contest. Bang. This
Well,
back
it's
to
probably a
thrower.
little bit
We
of reprieve
continue.
in this heat. I mean, I'm the idiot wearing a black shirt, but I'm sweating underneath here, and it's only 10:30 in April.
Global warming, of course. James with the disc activating time.
Yes, Renier.
Ball.
You gotta
not
leave it, Renier. You
quite
gotta Renier,
able
leave it.
to
That's
hold on to
good.
that
Let's go
disc.
set up.
game now. I would say that's a good indication of ball don't lie. Three
This-
passes later.
This comes back to who actually has it.
Davian now on the disc.
I'm keen to see this little matchup the rest of the game.
Whoa.
Nice, Dylan. Dylan now. It's just decision making. It's just decision making, Dylan. No, Dylan. No, don't force it. That's better, Dylan. Good decision making.
What is Marty's cutting pattern at the moment? Janeman saying I'm wide open.
Janeman's gone deep.
They don't have someone to mark Janeman. No, the stack is setting way too deep, not giving themselves opportunity to run deep onto the disc. Renier now with the disc.
Okay, got Renier. See now, in that situation,
That is
let the
the
man
first
go
cut
deep.
goes up line and you throw the like the swing pass. Fabian digging out a sketchy pass. Nick hustling deep. Tom for under.
this has been a tiring
Tom
point.
finds Nick.
Here we go, yeah.
What?
Just David clean, eh? Renier didn't contend for that. I wonder if Renier heard the foul call. That will be left in.
I think Gabe called a foul, thinking he might have had a play on the disc. Now discussion again. I think both sides trying to litigate themselves out of running at the stage.
Is this guy on? Is it on?
I believe it's on. It's just like you're not be able to see it because
The light.
why would you waste battery?
I'm just curious.
But you can check if you press the mute button. This one's there we go. Yeah, it's still on. If you press it again, you'll mute. Now it's muted.
This makes more sense. Good. No, technology.
There we go.
Technologically
technology.
implied. It's impaired. Where's my drone
Mutiny.
operator?
Scoring on the other side of the field. This goal having gone on way too long. Again, Ultimate, one of the worst spectator sports because now we're just sitting here next to the field, standing here, looking at people doing nothing, discussing something no one can remember. People, historically poor eyewitness accounts,
So, Stefan, what are we going to do about
academically
that?
proven to be terrible and should not always be admissible in court. Many men sent to jail and their deaths on false eyewitness accounts, later disproved by DNA testing. Why is it so integral to the spirit of the game? I don't know. Shouldn't we involve cameras? Shouldn't we have instant footage?
I concur. I would appreciate more camera footage. I would appreciate, but these are resources that require finances. So we do the best with what we have for now. And Davey, so this is picked up by Davey. He's on the edge of the end zone. I think he was just out. or
Imagine if you just run a marathon and you witness a crime, and then you need to go testify in court. Oh, beautiful defense. Completely overloading the handler. Brayton should have sent that. Now he holsters, thinks about it. Janeman does not uncork. Nate
There we
catches
go,
that
Nate.
disc and goes for the crossfield to Renier.
There we go.
A relatively
Finally,
easy
Marty's
score that
concludes.
would have, this entire point would have not happened had Nate caught that hammer.
This is
and
just a
then
while ago. Eh?
6 minutes later, here we are.
Timestamp. though.
Dirty,
It's
dirty
10:38
break.
now, so how
No,
long back?
not a dirty break, a dirty old. A hold is a hold nonetheless.
Look, the boys need to just find themselves, bring themselves towards themselves.
Bring themselves towards there's still a lot of Ultimate to be played today. Fitness might come into play in a huge way. Gradient with a smaller squad. They might run
With
into
a
some.
medium age, that's a bit more.
Yes, they might run into a second half physical deficit where Marty's can leverage their athleticism and their youth to just outpace Gradient.
Theoretically, on paper, that's what should happen, but we shall see.
It's the second day of a tournament. I've seen teams go up 8-5 and then just lose because they run out of steam. Morning, lads.
Again, morning. So,
Score now 5-3. Marty's creeping ever closer. Still down 2 breaks.
if Marty's take the half, I think they'll take the game.
I don't even think Marty's need to take the half. I think they're just going to blow straight past them in the last third of the game.
Ek weet nie man by die bumper event commentate. Never doubt how
I'm trying my very best to remain diplomatic in my role.
Oh, wide swing to Damien. Damien has the disc now. Michael setting the mark. Oh, Damien uncorks to Mike.
Oh,
Cam, man of the
reads.
people, reads that disc, gives it to Jonty. Jonty now back to Cam. Cam looking, sees Gabe. The defense in disarray. Brayton gets to disc. Ignores Cam on the wide open swing. Completely. Brayton re-establishing himself as the turn leader for Marty's with questionable at best decision making.
I've seen him throw more hammers today than I've seen him throw most seasons.
Marty's now again. Oh, with a double team there. Careful with the double team, Marty's. Pressure relieved. Giving it to Damien. Damien traveling on his backhand pivot. Pressure back on Damien. Oh,
I assume you and Damien are not mates.
look, I just call it as I see it. And Tom, fatigue now showing. Tom, unfortunately, throwing that disc straight into the ground, not reaching its intended receiver, Mike. Even the best players in the world. Shout out to Aroy from DC. Oh, Cam goes for a little jiggy over the top. And Janneman gets it on the second bounce. Janneman's like, enough of this hammer shit. We're throwing it straight forehand into the end
The other
zone.
one wants to go home. It's hot. He knows he's still got to probably play.
Marty's.
I mean, if they win this, they're going to play Mutiny afterwards. The Mutiny's already practically done their game. So
Yeah, mutiny just being
it's
the
a long
powerhouse.
day in the heat for Marty's.
Yes.
So just come on, either win it or lose it quickly. That's
Yeah, shout out to CTFDA for giving us great weather. Very little wind. Bit warm though. I mean,
you can't win it.
yeah.
I mean, we rarely ever have won it ever. So take what you can get.
that was the
We're appreciative of Janneman understanding the assignment, which is score quickly.
A handler as good as Cam, who even denies SA spots because he knows the SA team's too trash. That's how you throw a throw like that.
Yeah, I hope Marcus and Steph are one thing. It's what they're missing out on. I'm into the middle of the stage.
there's a throng of players congregating 5 meters out from the end zone. Cam has a wide open swing. He's like, no way that guy's this open. I need to send this to the stratosphere. Floats the disc above the pack. Michael gets a hand to it. Janneman gets it on the second. Janneman decides, fuck this hammers. I'm throwing a forehand into the end zone for
And
the
scoring.
score.
And my name's getting on the card.
The score now 5-4 for Gradient. Fabio resets
Marty's,
the
can you
disc to
guys
Nick.
explain
Nick
what the
back
plan
to
I was like,
Granelli. Gets the disc to Paul Vikers. Oh, Marty's getting very close to double teaming here on every profession. Oh, nice over the top. Look there to Nick.
Marty's players on the sideline.
to
Can
Fabian.
you explain?
Another hammer. That would have been
Fabian to James Granelli, who looks for the swing. Sees Nick. Nick looking. Oh, over the top. Cheeky. The zone from Marty's
So we're
coming
holding a
out.
zone. This is making more sense.
Yes. Oh, making them play. Oh, Brayton looking for a hand block here on James. Little goose step there from DC. Oh, straight through the middle.
Marty's players are getting tired.
Caleb not recognizing that was where the open space was when the field is trapped on that side. Marty's defense having run hard. The score now 6-4 to Gradient. 6-4 to Gradient. Marty's still down 2 breaks. Can they break it back? They need to start breaking. They need to start playing the D players. Brayton able to run very fast 5K.
Brayton recently discovered a cocoa plant in the Stellenbosch
plant.
Botanical Gardens. And so we're still testing the capability of the leaves of said cocoa plant for future uses, which is highly unlikely.
Cocoa plant, you say?
Yeah. We make chocolate out of this particular cocoa plant.
Chocolate. Okay.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. You say.
There's a fat asterisk behind the last 2 minutes of conversation.
Yuan always keen to just bring a very specific topic concerning Brayton in, and then in post he asked me, can you please
Remove it.
remove it?
Yes.
This time
No. I've just...
he skirted the issue just enough so that
Exactly.
would not be read.
100%. No,
Okay.
I'm going to ask you just edit in an asterisk when I talk shit. So then in the info it just says whenever those asterisks appear, like viewer discretion and belief advised. Don't have to believe everything I say. Please.
Right,
Yeah. But in other news, I think this has been, look, we're experimenting with a more compact form of the tournament because there's minimal teams. We don't require that many.
Ooh, Rourke with a
What are we looking at? Ooh.
terrible
Oh.
forehand to Grant on this far field. But play resumes. Cam to Peter. Peter uncorks a forehand to Jonty. Jonty. Oh, there we go, Damien. That disc was in Jonty's hand. Yep. So now how will Damien respond to having called exactly the same foul on one of our players? Uncontest, Damien. Reasonable player.
Thank you.
Uncontest. Looked like Jonty pretty much had that disc in his hand as he went
It
up.
felt that way from this angle.
Yes.
I think
mean,
we were watching the forehand come in towards us, and it's
Straight
directly in line with us. For the camera who can't see in three-dimensional plane.
Oh, Jonty, little cheeky up the line. Caleb,
Oh, Janeman flirting
No,
with a
no.
hammer, but knows better.
just, swing, swing, swing. Caleb running a wide line. There we go.
And it's-
Backhand, backhand.
Oh,
Goes for the hammer over the top to Gabe.
okay,
Jonty.
cool. Jonty to
Caleb
Gabriel,
nearly
takes it 5-4.
running James Granelli's face off there on the up the line cut. Being like, oh, you can't mark my player if I run straight through in the disc space. This is
A little
allowed.
bit of personal space impeded there.
Caleb a bit wider than a disc, though. Don't know if he realizes that.
I didn't drop it, and I threw it right.
Good man.
Good play,
You
young
gave
man.
the assist of the assist. That's an actual measure in the sport, but not here in South Africa.
Yeah.
The assist of the assist. How many assists have you given?
Well, how far do we go back?
How many times did you? Yeah, actually, we could go back indefinitely with that logic.
No, whoever caught the ball through the first assist,
Yeah.
to the assist
Actually,
after
no,
the assist
whoever
after the
had
assist
the first
after
touch
the
on
assist.
of the disc of the game, actually, it all starts there.
Yeah.
What's happening on Mutiny Field?
Oh, Rourke now with the disc.
Rourke and
doesn't want to
Jared
knock
having
it
a
away
nice
again.
one.
Jared. Seeing Grant. Oh,
Grant to Jared.
floated into the end zone.
Copy and paste most days of the week. Do it for Ghost, do it for Mutiny. What next? Jonty, how are you feeling?
Pretty shit.
Talk us through that.
There might be some poop in the bathroom water.
Oh,
I don't know, well, not poop actually, but like I drank like 2 liters of it and now I feel like garbage. So
Which
Are you-
this bathroom?
yeah.
are you sure that's maybe not because you just drank 3 liters of water? Then you-
That is kind of how the gut works. Lots of water quickly makes you.
oh, Tom floating that disc. Janeman on to. Oh, Paul just reading.
Some vet on vet fight.
Paul now looking. Oh, sees Tom wide open. Swings to Fabian. Fabian back to Tom.
Every Hammond Stenson is a great
Oh,
option,
straight
really.
through the
This-
middle to Damien. Swing now to DC. DC looking. Just jump it in.
That's in. That's in. But okay.
Oh, travel called.
Nice.
He straddled the line there. Needs to establish his pivot foot on the line. But Nate asking where he was. Play resumes. Damien goes for a little cheeky up. Oh.
Ooh, yeah, man,
And he
well done, Nick. Holding on to it. And that's half time. Allegedly. What time? What's the score?
7-5.
7-5. 7-5.
There's a time off time.
No, it's only 50
No,
minutes.
It's only 50. No, it's 48 minutes.
48 minutes.
What are we doing?
It's not half. It's not
Why?
half.
Why?
7. It's now 7-5, Brayton.
Brayton.
Yeah. Brayton's still struggling to finish his undergrad. Sorry, guys.
Brayton having a rough day out there.
You know what? You're always going to have tough days in the park. Takes me back to day one of Open Women's Nationals last year. This young squad got completely butchered with back-to-back Long Donkeys rec games. Half the team had only stepped on a field the first time 2 months prior. And you know what? They turned out to be better men because of it. R.I.P. their hopes and dreams.
Shout out to the rugby pole.
Yeah, where's Nick?
Yeah.
Some good memories from that tour.
Surely there's a clause in this contract.
That awkward moment when Marty someone acknowledged they might not be as good as the team that they were 2 weeks ago.
Eish. Yes. Well, to be fair, the whole Luca left the handler set, also just leg wise, being able to work
Yeah,
on
look,
defense and force
yeah.
turns, pretty big. I
It's-
think
it's-
Luca's main contribution to the team was hustling on defense, forcing breaks, putting a lot of
I think the other
pressure on
thing
the
that
handler set.
you can never take away is the psychological element. I mean, a lot of people look at him as one of the most senior players on this team. He is a galvanizing force in the squad, and he will be missed for the next few months. Unlucky Cam. I made the mistake of thinking we were in Feb.
Oh,
and
that
not-
disc is not coming back in.
DC.
DC goes for a great disc after already being 4 meters out of the field. Love to see that. Great hustle. Unfortunately, disc needs to come back because it never really came back in and just drifted out.
For context, the Marty's gradient game has not reached halftime yet, whereas the
Yes.
Mutiny UCT game is just completed.
Yeah, it's just done.
So Mutiny will get an additional.
Look, if you
50
want to take
minutes.
all the experienced players in Cape Town, just make a open steam because you don't want to actually compete against other players and you just want to win. Then you get Mutiny.
In my position of diplomacy, I will refrain
Cam
from
just
comment.
threw that straight to Tom. What?
Can't keep implicating me.
In what?
I need to remain diplomatic.
What do you mean? Oh, Nick getting that disc. The defense hustling across. Tom now with disc in hand. DC cutting in front of Stack, being followed by Peter.
Aerosmith, beautifully personifying what this team needs to do
Yeah,
to
this,
dream on.
This video is getting demonetized immediately. DMCA strike. Not that I'm getting anything from it in any way. Channel not monetized, but definitely not after this.
Plot twist: one of these teams goes on to win a Worlds one day, and the world gets obsessed with the idea.
Oh no,
of
that's a catch
straddle.
jump. DC with a catch jump. He,
He knows it.
recognizes.
He acknowledges it.
Very audible. Even from this distance, we could hear the clap way before we saw the feet leave the ground. Oh,
Oh,
Nick snaps
Nick.
the ankles of Michael there.
And that is half.
That's off 8-5. That's off.
Putting this on mute.
It's mute for now.
Here I'm trying to fix the. be legitimate this year.
Given that there's a university tournament.
Given that, so not necessarily, doesn't necessarily have to be there, but the point is SASCOG recognition is now on. SASCOG recognition would then enable us access to stuff like the National Lottery, because the National Lottery is one of the biggest donors of sport and sport development in South Africa.
As Nate pulls that disc all the way into the end zone, eye arcing.
And we've got
backhand.
We're back to commentary now. But
No, continue.
But-
SASCOG
but,
want that lottery funding.
no, they are.
So
it's-
SAFTA is SAFTA even like an actual company or NGO?
So well, look, it's got non-profit business.
Yeah.
It has to gain one of those classifications first before it then is eligible to apply to be a SASCOG sport. But the thing is, rather serendipitously, one night at a dinner, I happened to meet someone who happens to know the chairperson. We've worked that network, and it's done very well. Daniel and I have worked hard to put material together that just sums the sport up in like a condensed format. We talk about our factors and the value adds. And the guy got back to me and he's like, yeah, no, he's read the stuff. He's happy to set up a meeting. Here's his PA's email address. So yeah, we're setting up that meeting and we'll take it from there. I think the main thing is just asking for guidance. Like how do we move towards? Look at that. We walked the disc in.
Yeah, look,
Easy.
the gradient zone not that effective if you don't try throw straight at the defenders every single time. Score now 8-6.
8-6.
As Marty's come out of the half with a clean hold. No, that was a break. Tom fumbled the disc, so we're 2 breaks behind now from Marty's. Sorry, as you were saying about the SASCOG.
Yeah, no, it's just exciting because it changes the perception of the sport. It changes a lot of things with the sport, and hopefully it enables more opportunities. The biggest thing that's also come with SEPO now working with WIFDIF is access to more resources for development purposes. So it's a great time for the sport to be looking at the youth side of things, simply because we probably have the most resources available to kind of penetrate that sphere of the sporting world compared to previous years. They're just throwing discs away at any development cause right now, not away, but towards. And then we had a nice chat that included Baden Powell, not sure if the name rings a bell. He's based in Tanzania.
From Baden Powell Drive.
Not Baden. Is it Baden Powell? His name Baden. His name's Baden. Edit that. His name's not Baden Powell.
Baden Powell.
Baden Powell's the guy.
Famously, the person the road on the N2 is named after.
Lord Robert Baden Powell is the founder of the scouting movement. Anyway, the guy's name is Baden. Baden's a lacquer oak. We've had good chats the last week. He's based in Tanzania. He runs the entire youth setup there with a tournament every couple
Tom
months.
being caught now. Store count rising. Goes for the hammer to no one. Of all the places on the field, that hammer went to literally no one. There could have not been a more dead spot on the field. Jonty celebrating, indicating that is an easy clap catch. Does he spike the disc? Or does he?
No, he doesn't. I did specifically kindly request on the captain's script that
No rim spikes.
the discs do not be spiked, as they'll be used for development purposes after the tournament. I would like to keep these discs up. CTFTA put forward.
Look, development players need to realize that you need to sometimes just play with a spike disc.
Yes, but I'd like to, like I said, I'd like to up the odds and not have damaged materials, resources, or whatever you want to call them.
Are you saying that we should not deform frisbees past their plastic deformation limit?
Preferably not.
Boo.
Deliberately.
I'll take from Johan there. Johan, a hater of good spikes.
Hey, listen, if the disc's old, sure, but that disc has been touched for the first time yesterday, okay?
Can we rim spike it if it's still within the limits of plastic deformation and it won't be
If someone
permanently?
stepped on the disc and there's a hole in it, you're welcome to do whatever you want to do.
Ah.
But you got to take it to the
I
extreme.
don't know. I'm against stepping on discs, pro
But you'll
spiking
rim
them. I
spike
think
it.
I've got the moral high ground here. Nate now with the pool.
You heard it your first
Yeah.
place.
Nate, another lovely pull deep into the end zone.
You
James
see the guys are
Ganelli
quite
fielding.
but flat at the moment in the
yeah.
heat. Normally
Nick
some of
now
them
with
would have
the
chased
disc
that
to
down.
DC to
Just as nice flow. Careful with
Damien
travels.
to Fabian. Paul Vikers gets a disc now. Game slowing down. Vikers back to the reset. No, looks it off. It looks for someone else. Gets the under to Nick. Nick now looking. Janeman taking away the deep option. Nick going for the inside break. Oh, fakes out Brayton for the poach, sees Paul wide open. Sometimes you just have to stick with your man, not react to the fake.
And Paul to Nick.
Yes. It was close though. If Nick was a lesser player, he would have just fired that backhand low release fake straight into the poaching Brayton.
But Nick, thankfully for grading, is not a lesser player.
Nick having eyes, realizes there's a player poaching off and then just throws to the open ball on the sideline. Amazing what you can do if you can see what's happening on the field and you don't just decide to throw things. Crazy. Here now swapping shirts next to the...
I think he was just tired of the heat. And rightfully so. It is a bit of a scorcher today. Again, CTFDA apologize for the heat, but not the wind. And the wind is of such a nature with the drone, it's just sitting so peacefully up there. So.
Yeah, that drone is chilling.
No complaints.
Peter, streaker on the field. Peter crossing the field now to opposite sideline.
Michael Janssen van Rensburg
Michael warming up. He was
walked off his ankle issue. He's warming up.
What are we doing? He was jumping on one leg earlier in the day.
I think he just needed some liquid courage, but not in the form of alcohol.
Oh, does
That's deep.
Nate? He does feel that disc at the back of the end zone. Good ball going up. Cam now with the disc. John T coming for it under. Wide open. It's like, why do I not have the disc yet? That's what that raised hand gesture indicates. Disc now to the sideline to Nate. Nate looking. Sees Cam. Gets Cam. John T for another under. Gets looked off. Gabe for a little cheeky up the line.
Oh,
Uncaught.
yes, Michael. Oh, unlucky. That was good effort, bro. You scared them, buddy. Nicer surface. Play would have been on.
The throw was a bit better.
I think it was one that was forcing the distance and not direction. But hey, I mean, that was about it.
Yeah, if
was
he
about
recognized
60
where the
meters.
disc was going to be and he ran in a straight line, he could have probably gotten there.
Yeah.
Oh, floaty disc. Nate, have a play on this.
No call.
No call. Clean D. Tom not want to get litigious when sandwiched between two defenders and not having control of the disc. Oh, that cheeky eye release backhand.
Oh, and another
staple
one.
of Marty's offense. Will Jonty put it on it? Oh, if Janeman just timed his cut slightly later there, Jonty might have just uncorked that.
Cam with his
Cam gets the
cutting his
disc.
legs.
Nick already poaching deep. Michael should just go cycle around to the break side, get Nick out of that space.
Man on!
Too casual, doesn't run towards this, not recognizing there are defenders on the field. Michael having a bit of a tough point at the moment. Damien now with the disc.
I mean, you got to play
James.
many more games to sort of.
Oh, fires it straight back,
Nate's-
putting Tom into a sky off with Nate.
And Nate once again.
Right in front of the camera. Just gets skied.
And the
Monty's
disc
now on
walks
the
up.
quick break to Jonty. Jonty seeing Gabe,
It's Gabriel.
putting it up. Oh,
Not in.
Gabe casually. Nick wants
We want Gabe. We want Gabe.
Nick getting skied so dramatically by Gabe decides I'm just running off into the distance. I can't stop and play defense now. I'm gonna take a second to recover my thoughts and
emotions. But look,
yeah.
if we had to go and look at all the film that exists of such a moment, the chances of you actually still getting a D
Iceling
on the
back,
disc after
yeah.
that, an effective D is probably in the less than single digits, if it's possible. Then
the
less than
inches. It's a game of inches and centimeters, and the centimeters are out there.
and
Got to
increasingly-
claw for them. Got to fight for them. Or we're just tired.
The
and
drones come to have a look at us here in the distance. It's going to get very close unnecessarily. As Aaron likes to do.
Oh, we're now getting a bad boys shot where the camera rotates and then goes off into the distance again. Beautiful.
He's going to set up now and watch the pool. I've taught him very well. I've sent him many videos on how to film Ultimate with a drone. He's learned. He knows exactly how to read the game setup. It's very useful having that as a drone operator friend.
And now Brayton with the disc looking to pull it into the tennis nets. No, tennis nets over there.
There goes
Brayton
the
with a
drone.
bulleting pull makes it into the end zone. Damien fields a disc, passes to
For
Tom.
those who can't see on the camera,
Back to
Stefan and I
Damien.
have made the smart decision of sitting after standing first in the sun, then standing in the shade.
Yes.
And I can tell you it's been at least 20
Oh.
minutes since we were standing in this sun. Oh, when we thought it would be halftime. And it wasn't.
Ball to DC, back to Fabian. Fabian puts it straight into the middle of the field with a unmarked cut from Mike. Fabian gets the
Nice
disc.
little-
Oh, holsters the arc.
Ooh,
Peter with a close bid there, following Tom. Nearly gets a hand to it. Disc back to Fabian. Will
question
Fabian
for the
uncork?
future comments, if they were enabled, is where is
Oh.
Peter's cricket pants?
Where is Peter's hair? I think there's a strong correlation between the length of Peter's hair and pants. Having cut his hair is like I'm not worthy of the cricket pants.
This
The
requires further,
cricket pants are for people with long hair. I'm
further
not one of
empirical
them.
data needs to be recorded too.
Oh, Brayton bullets it this to Dylan,
Oh,
who
unlucky.
spills
Good
the disc
effort.
on contact with the ground.
It's an art, Lang.
Oh,
It's
I
an
think that
art.
was just off right camera. That looked spectacular from here, at least. If he held on to that disc, that was a strong contender for player of the day, I would say. Full stretch layout bid into the end zone.
You know what I'm grateful for? That I'm not running an ultra marathon in this heat.
Oh, yeah, no.
Or was
Shout
that
out.
yesterday?
A bit of both.
Bit of
isn't
both,
it?
yeah.
Oh, Brayton.
Because I know a
tracking.
couple mutiny players
Yes.
went and ran the half today and rocked up for their game.
Yes. I believe we call those people psychos. DC to Mike. Mike struggling to find an option. Fabian cutting around. Fabian still cutting. Mike eventually finds DC again. DC with little Marty's pop past upfield. Back to Mike. Back to Tom. Nate marking the deep space. Back to Tom. Tom to Mike. Mike to Tom. And Peter
It's a
just
clean D.
following Tom.
John
Oh!
That should be.
John
He's
did
in.
not
Oh,
quite
not
in.
in.
And John T sees Peter sprinting to the other side of the end
Completely
zone.
other end.
Yes.
I think.
Is
scores
that
should-
another break for the
think it
Marty's
is.
boys?
1 second. Michael! JVR! Score! It is indeed 9-9.
9-9! The full bullpen! Peter scoring. So now my prediction of Marty's potentially running away with the second half of the game after fatigue setting in for the
it's
relatively
coming through.
smallest squad.
Someone said something at the halftime. And it-
Might be true, or Marty's have just settled in, adjusting to the play in absence of their star player Luca, currently recovering in hospital from little boo-boo, I would
Little
say.
boo-boo.
Yes, little
Yeah,
boo-boo.
no, quite an unfortunate.
Probably a
bit of-
fractal spiral of both the tibia and the fibia
I would
due to
I
a
would
second
love-
attempt before landing properly.
I would love to say it's a fracture, but regrettably it's a clean break. It looked quite bad last night when I popped into the hospital. Wasn't a straight leg, but it's a good spirits.
Was it still not a straight leg? Yes,
I mean, it was
at the
as straight
hospital?
as it could be. But
Oh,
you
he
could
hasn't
see
had surgery.
Surgeries
yet.
this morning. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
It was either 8:30, 9:30. Yeah, so we sent him a get well message, but yeah, no, for that injury, he probably has gone under, and he'll probably be out the whole day. So
I think he'll be out for more than a year. At minimum.
let me repeat.
I don't know what kind of doctors they have here in Cape Town, but that seems a bit extreme. 1 day recovery time for a broken leg.
Let me rephrase that. He'll be out unconscious for at least a day.
Okay, yes. Oh! Gabe!
Gabe reading the play well.
Gabe, that's the third, I
We
think.
have
Just
we
cheeky,
have a
I'm here.
special,
Don't throw to me.
Member joining us in commentary for the next point.
Good afternoon. This is SA's worst cutter in under 24, whose only job on O-line is to lay out D and get the disc back. And there has been a foul called that didn't affect the throw, so we should also score like them. So then which is what
I
happened.
think we did,
Bring
yes.
it back, boys!
Shout out to Marty's.
Shout out to Gradient for being nothing but consistent.
Yeah, I mean,
Damien as well, when you called a foul on him, he's like, I did that earlier in the game, uncontested. No, that's fine.
yeah, because
Cannot fault them for their spirit.
no, I think that was good stuff. And our game plan seems to be working. We let them use all their energy in the first half, and then realize that their average age is probably above 30. So we know the second half is ours.
Just
So
run them into the ground, yes.
that is a plan,
Beautiful.
and thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you for your time, Jonty. That's Jonty, of course, the self-built West cutter in the under Wild Dogs under 24. Word on the street actually is that he's one of the premier players. I think he's probably one of the best
player
players,
for this and
if
probably
not
the next
the
campaign.
best under 24 player in the country.
Exciting times for Marty's ultimate hit. Or South African ultimate, rather. Who knows what will become of this team next year?
Yes.
People graduate.
Yes. So yesterday I only recorded 22 seconds of the one game. So I'm just quickly going to go have a look at that camera and see if things are still recording. No, you can keep that.
Okay, I'm
say
not going to
things.
speak from this side.
No, that's fine. You
I'm
don't
gonna
need to.
mute. Okay.
Yes. So thoughts while the two teams take a break. Sweat is starting to pool in my lower back, as well as below my navel and the general area around my glutes and thighs. It is quite a warm day, no hiding from the sun. We try to our best. Everyone currently sitting in the shade. Gradient having their team talk to the side. Marty's looked a bit unnerved, a few unnecessary unforced errors that caused long 0 points in the first half, going down 3 breaks. Could have said it was 50-50 play, and they could have come down with a disc on multiple occasions, and that happens in Ultimate. It's about, can you be consistent enough? The score, of course, just reflects how many breaks happen throughout the game. The team that breaks the most wins by exactly that margin. Vian, I'm checking it now. It better be. Unless there was some interference, we are still recording 1 hour, 12 minutes and 41 seconds. And Vian, do you have any comment regarding this barn burner of a game happening between Gradient and Marty's right now?
What is the score? What is the score?
The score is 10-9 at the moment.
10-9.
Yes, to Marty's.
And who's had the upper hand so far?
Gradient was up 0-3 in the first half.
Sure.
And then they took half 8-5. And I believe, based on those statistics, that
Marty's rolled it back.
Marty's have been consistently a second half team.
Except against Mutiny yesterday.
No, I think they were still a second half team, but Mutiny was just still dominant.
Second half team.
Yeah, a second half.
As I saw the score time from home, I got the update and it was like 6-5
Right.
at half time. And I was like, fuck!
Yeah,
It's like
and then-
full time and it's like 7:50. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
It was tight. It was flipping tough.
I think
The handler-
surely Martin's got the advantage. They only played one game yesterday.
yes. No, that was my prediction during the first half. It's like, oh, that disc. Well, that. Oh. That disc having gone out at the brick mark on Marty's side of the field, that's always the risk with a wide out the side pull that it does not come back in.
Nick, you better not blunder this one. Keep walking. This is score in one. Hold in one.
The Marty's handler play yesterday was insane. So good.
That looks real nice. Where did you get that?
Nick, keep walking. So dominant.
What stuff? Like the whole center.
What,
What
what,
was second
what were the cutters doing while the handlers?
Real stuff.
I mean, the cutters were there, but you have to start with a few hand passes.
Brayton, of course, worrying more about other people's play on the field and not locking in himself, always shouting what other people should do. Hallmark. Oh, Jonty going for the layout, nearly snaps Tom's ankles. Fabian to the open side of James. James Allstrings goes cross field. Brayton.
Brady should have talked himself there.
Brayton could have probably say that. Brayton, cover that open mark in the end zone. That is, look. I had exactly the same thought, and you said it before I did.
You said it before I did. You said it a point ago. Like, a few seconds ago.
And Marty's now 10-10. I mean, that was a bit of a soft score. But thanks for your insights, Vian. I will now join my co-commentator Johan again on the other side of the field now that I've established that it is
I'll check that
the
you're
recording. Don't you dare.
I assume that means we're good to go. Yes, I imagine it is true. We are good to go. So camera's still doing all right.
Yes, no, we are. I've been recording for the past hour and 12 minutes, and this game is getting close to time cap. Is it like 1 hour?
18 minutes.
Yeah, 18 minutes. Well, Marty's, but I think Marty's. If they pull maybe the disc into the end zone and not the side of the field, probably have a good chance to close out this game on breaks. See what Marty's does as Nick pulls the disc to the
I just want to have a quick chat
far
with the
side.
respective leadership to understand we're all in understanding of the rule. I'm going to take this off. I'm tired of being eliminated.
Cam now with the disc, looking off Peter for the open under. Sees Renier coming down the field. Renier catching. Renier looking down the field. Probably go to the reset. Finds Peter on a backhand. Peter throws the disc straight into Damien. Walking in Peter's blind zone, blind spot. Mike Layers on defense. Cam on James Granelli. Ooh, little low release backhand. Jonty on Nick. Nick looking for an option. Defense strong. Floats it. Yeah. Peter uncorks a tall backhand. Renier is tall. Will he be able to catch the disc? No. Mike outreads the disc there. Wasted to the long man. The tall man. Tom with the disc now again being marked by Nate. Finds Strauss. Back to James Granelli. Back to Tom. Tom getting the disc again. DC to James. Now approaching the break territory. Andy unfortunately throws it straight into the ground. DC hustling out there. Sweat glistening on his forehead. Cam now about to pick up disc. Jonty looking. Vertical 45-degree stack. Will they fly the end zone? Jonty.
Get water, guys. Get water for them.
Tower called by Marty's. Action. But Johan, the timeouts in the halftime shouldn't count towards that time. No, it shouldn't. You have 100 minutes of game time, right? So cap. Do they?
Yeah, absolutely. Only thing that doesn't count is if a technical stoppage is longer than 2 minutes, or if it's a sprint stoppage.
There's new rules.
What?
25 to 28.
No, those are old rules.
Are they all new?
Damn.
Some are ancient rules. Like
So the meta of calling timeouts and waiting for longer than 60 seconds. But so I've got a large problem with that though, because time between these points have definitely been longer than 60 and 70 seconds. None of the teams have called time, like delay of play. So now going just to hard cap 140, that becomes a bit of a massive grey area. And I
Yeah,
think
no,
that's
look-
been poorly marshaled by both teams, not thinking about this.
But I think as the general sentiment would be, and it's, I mean, you've seen it repeatedly across not just this season, multiple seasons. I think both teams just read how the other team is feeling when it comes to these things. But also you require far better oversight then. Like you need
When push comes to
technical-
shove, someone will be like, no, it's hard cap, and we are ahead, and the game's done.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't
look,
want to
so
play
there
anymore.
was a document circulated to the captain's group of just like overarching rules. Okay, it's a matter of, it's because we are compacted by time. Game starts, it's 100 minutes. At 100 minutes, it's cap. It's hard cap in the sense that you finish that point and you only play another point if you're tied. That's it.
So how long did Montes have for this timeout, and how long did they actually use the timeout for?
I'm not too sure because I don't keep that.
There we go.
information.
I think
See, this is
think
why these
this
streams
is
are going to implicate me.
this is a very slippery slope of rule abuse.
Okay,
that-
so Safan, you and I will run the technical team in the mixed and regional season where we can hold all teams accountable.
No,
Each-
look.
Each field
If,
has a stopwatch.
if people want to open them up for end of game shenanigans, if games get closed, I'm here for the drama. Don't get me
I'm
wrong.
very aware you're here for the drama.
I'm here for the
I think
drama.
It's undisputed that you are here for the drama.
So in that regard, okay, Cam dapping up his opponent, DC, coach of the Marty's women. Let's see what Marty's has from this this play. Who's Michael Hayes coming under, and then Nate gets that disc and he puts it straight into the end zone. A lovely pool play, 2 passes for a score. They trusted Nate to just come down with that disc, pulling it from the
I'm going to speak to the masses.
to the masses. Okay. Don't you want to get some?
The one flick had a bit of a wobble. The other flick just the one stole mine.
Yuan, can you? Are you going to just chat to people in general, just vibing out?
I'm not taking that with me.
Oh, okay. So I can just assume what you're going to be skinnering about then. That's fine. You walk away, go skinner.
It's a matter of I'd like to remain impartial. You're going to join me on the committee next year. You don't have the same. I have to practice.
Oh, you know when CTF there was about to go dormant, Marco and myself was in the call. And everyone's like, oh, you want to be on CTFDA? No one even thought about asking me and Marco. They knew what would happen if we came anywhere near.
When shit goes down at work, I'm the diplomat to solve.
There you go, Gradient. Nice and sexy.
That this at least coming back into the field before going out to the side of the end zone there. This time, Gradient will start from the brick mark, and not on their own side of the field, not Marty's side of the field. As Damien walks up the disc. Team's quite jovial after having sweat this much. Oh. No one getting to that disc. That's kind of having a bit of a strange fade out to the right there. Ganman kind of in position. The gradient player going up before, but then not having the vertical height, and then the disc kind of just fading out to the right there. No one getting to it. Gabe coming back as well for cover defense while Ganman has position. Oh, whoa. Nah, Caleb, go back under, Caleb. Too deep. Marty's being excited for the break. Caleb calling for that swing wide open on the far side of the field. However, Peter decided to just throw it straight into the end zone to Janman for the score. Following the flow of the play. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just to push upfield. Run into the end zone, run past the end zone. Sometimes you've got to let the boys cook. Marty's now invigorated by their back-to-back breaks. Sensing blood in the water, trying to close out this game now. Nate with another pull, getting awfully close to the trees on the sideline. And James fielding the disc to Nick. Nick looking for an option. The under to Tom is there. Tom to DC, back to Tom, back to DC, back to Tom. And Tom flubs the disc and Peter smashes it out of the air cleanly. Always a trouble with dribbling. After a couple of steps in, if the throw is not clean enough, try to throw before the disc is completely in your possession. And the disc being a spinning object. Then as Cam resets to Brayton. Brayton back to Cam into that open space. Sees Dylan, sees Mike poaching as well. Gets Nate on the under. Nate looking, Brayton for a little give go. Wants it back, gets it back. Peter clearing that space. Dylan making a cut into coverage. Cam going up the line. Gets overthrown completely by Brayton. Not recognizing there are 4 defenders in that upline space, and you should have probably been looking for the swing there. As Gradient now gets the disc back. Will they dribble it up the field? Oh, a deep look is coming. James throws a little under to DC. DC back to James. Oh! James finds Paul. Back to James. Tom holsters, gives it to Mike. Back to James. Back to Paul. Who uncorks a throw into the end zone. And it spills. It hits Dave on the wrist.
Okay, let's get the steal.
Just behind his hand. Outreached. If Dave was a slower man, he would have caught that disc in his hand. However, being too fast, the disc hit his wrist. Dave, victim of his own athleticism and ability to run fast.
Okay, let's get this defense. Come on, look at us. They're verting.
Marty's.
Honest vert. Let's use our defense.
Peter, not so far. Peter, closer.
Okay, let's see what Marty's does as Gradient comes out with a Monster D on their vert stack. Oh! Cam pivoting back for the forehand, not as much power as he would have had on the backhand. Doesn't quite find the intended receiver. Tom now picking up the disc. Tom to Mike. Mike looking. DC's coming for an under. Finds DC on the under. Back to Mike. Dylan now on DC. DC looking. Breaks the mark. Sees Mike on the reset. Pick is called. Disc coming in on 0. Mike has the disc. Brayton calling home force. Mike indicating to Dave that he wants to offload the disc to him. Caleb following Dave. Setting up the mark. Setting up that mark. No, I think the new rules are if you haven't released the disc, not a turnover, even if you released it. Okay.
It has to affect though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pick and then a turn.
Caleb bullying Dave with his sheer amount of mass on the mark. Michael discussing with James where they were when the foul was called. Game getting litigious as people are getting tired. John T. Fresh, ready to run another ultramarathon, like the Mutiny Boys.
John T will run the ultramarathon.
If there is a disc in front of John T, 1 meter in front of him, he will follow that disc all the way 21 k's. This discussion going on very long as it's 3 minutes and 10 seconds until hard cap. Who is milking this time delay? Is it Martis? Is it Gradient? Who is currently ahead? Yes. More drama. It's 12-10, yeah. Okay, so does turnover stand? What is happening here? Okay, turnover stands in a shocking turn of events. There's 3 minutes and 35 seconds, 35 seconds left. Yeah, look. Yeah, let the record show Gabe was correct. Or everyone was wrong and the commentator was correct. Oh, Brayton uncorks to Peter out the field. It's still out. I think Peter, when he dove from inside the field. If he dove from inside, he established the inbounds thing and then it's out there. Yeah. If Peter was inbounds, no one wants the commentators. Let me just explain for everyone watching. If Peter jumped from inbounds, caught the disc, the first contact of the disc would have then been inbounds, and it became out of bounds as soon as Peter then touched the ground. So Peter saved some yardage because he jumped from inbounds, caught the disc, hit the ground, and now the disc has to be taken there and all the way back where Brayton threw it. Oh, DC coming for the under. And the arc uncorks to Dave. Gets a cross-field score. The time now 11:38:41. Did they start at exactly 10?
Allegedly.
I.
They're required to facilitate their own games. I happen to
Oh.
be a spectator.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Look, I mean, I'm happy that we run tournaments where we have like an individual like allocated
Okay.
to a game.
Who is gonna call hard cap because that happens in 58 seconds?
I think Paul and Musanda are very aware that it happens at 22.
Okay.
And they'll have that chat with their team.
And what happens when hard cap happens during the middle of the point?
In the middle of the point, they finish the point.
Yeah.
And if they finish, if the final score at the end of that point
Is 12 all?
Hmm?
Is 12 all, which could
they'll play
happen.
another point.
Then they play another point. Okay.
It's first to 13, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you got to score twice, they got to score once.
Okay. Hard cap in 25 seconds.
I think both teams are not silly. They know that.
Okay. Hard cap in 15.
You're here for the drama.
Yes. If Marty's turns this disc on their end zone now, Gradient could take the game. Hard cap in 8 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hard cap has just hit. James picks up the disc, sees Nick on that under, hustles up the line. Cam there on D, Jonty on Tom. Tom to Damien. DC going up the line. Tom wants the disc back, being followed by Jonty. Oh, disc gets floated. Peter is about to have a play on it. No one reads it. Jarman comes down with the disc, does not take it, immediately establishes pivot foot in the end zone. Peter's now with the disc. Throws to Jonty. Will Jonty uncork a deep look here? Oh, Nate wide open in the underspace. Finds Jonty. Jonty weighing up his options. Sees Gabe. Goes to Brayton. Brayton with a low disc to a wide open Peter. Peter floats the disc to Janeman, who catches it for the score. 13-11 after Hard cap is done. That is game. That's game. Marty is victorious. Hard cap happened during the point. Hard cap started during the point 10 seconds in. No, hard cap is done. That's done. That's done. Hard cap was during that point. Yeah. Yeah. It's sorted out. The game's done. 13-11. Yeah. No, there is a hard cap. The hard cap is 1 minute 40. It's done.
No, it's soft cap. No hard cap. We're just playing.
Okay, things are crazy. Developments on the field, discs getting turned, not turned. Now it's soft cap, the hard cap. Yeah, what is happening here? Johan, can we get some comments here from the organizing?
I'm gonna go get the message on the phone. Where's the phone?
Was it not discussed with everyone that there's a hard cap at 140?
20 after 100 minutes.
Yes, after 100 minutes. And that happened during that point.
Let the captains deal with it.
What?
Perfect. They can deal with themselves.
No, but what the fuck is happening?
13-11.
And now? What now? Now it's 13-11.
Well, the captains discuss between themselves, and they've decided on what they're going to do instead.
Seeing as this is not a tournament, I guess who gives a shit?
I'm happy to say
Rules mean nothing.
what I'm happy to say is on record. The entire community has let somebody who's never played in an actual tournament facilitate these things.
Are we detecting some shade being thrown by CTFDA member Johan?
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm happy to learn, but at the same time, I've never been taught.
Okay.
So,
Johan casting shade at himself. I was wondering why I was so ready to do that. You want to go on record?
look, there was a message. Is this on now? There was a message sent to all
What? So what
captains.
happened? I thought the tournament was like hard cap. During hard cap. Okay.
One hole plus 2 breaks. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Come on, Gradient.
A mere formality for Gradient at this stage to get a hold and 2 breaks to take the game 14-11. Or 14-12, of course. No, 13?
Yes, that's the nomad chemistry I like to see.
DC to James.
Go, Gradient. Let's switch on.
DC to Tom.
Davis push.
DC getting Dave. Dave holds onto the disc. Caleb stepping onto Dave's foot. Big man on small man violence once more.
You go on to it.
As we're now broadcasting in stereo once more. Renier on Damien. Damien goes for a break swing to DC. DC looking, sees Tom. Jonty nearly with an athletic, but nearly getting to that disc. Defensive pressure mounting. Caleb lost in the source. Janeman with a clean intercept. Jonty nearly bobbling that disc. Jonty, Brayton, Olshing. There's a wide open swing. He sees Peter. Peter casually walks up to the disc. Throws the disc to Nate. Brayton going for the swing. Oh, sees Nathan again. Working that disc up. Caleb for the under. Caleb in a big moment now. Will he see Renier? He sees Renier. The new player is shuffling the disc up. Oh, Caleb. What are we doing, Caleb? We reset the disc with a backhand here, Caleb. Oh, he sneaks it into Nate. Nate not quite in. Scores on a break. That is 14-11. Game to Marty's. As we have some post-game reflections here. Marty's digging deep. Having been down 3 breaks at the start of the game, they end up winning the game by 3 breaks. 14-11. Having not played 2 games yesterday, Marty's were arguably the fresher team. On aggregate, though, they are as tired as Gradient if you take into consideration that one of their players literally broke their legs yesterday. So all things equal, a hard matchup for Gradient, seemed to run out of legs. Marty's also settled in and stopped making as many unforced errors in the second half. So things Things are shaping up to have a Mutiny Marty's final and a UCT Gradient 4-3 playoff.